But all these states that you mentioned, you know, before the presidential elections, there were also some fears about what may likely happen. But at the end of the day, the elections went and many were surprised at the way it turned out. So you don't think that perhaps the same thing will play out this weekend?
A lot of things have come into play during the last election. Prayers were said by a number of Islamic scholars and Christian clerics. I'm aware of a number of patriotic Nigerians who delegated some people to Mecca and Medina to go and pray so that Nigeria will not break up. So I believe that has been the reason why we have peace. But the role that I've seen that has been very dominant, in addition to the prayers that have been answered, is the role of the National Peace Committee under the leadership of General Abdulsalam Abubakar. He has along with him very eminent Nigerians who are well respected, like Admiral Ebitu Kiwe, the Sultan of Sokoto, Cardinal Olonfemi Onayekan, Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, retired Justice Roslyn Ukeje, and Alhaji Aliko Dangote, to mention just a few. These people believe that as patriotic Nigerians, we have a stake in this country. And no matter what anybody wants, the nation is greater than anybody. You remember they initiated the peace accord 2 months before the election. And some members of political parties were breaking the accord by the infightings in their states. On the week that we are going to hold the election, they had to reappraise the presentation of this peace accord, which formed the basis upon which the two presidential candidates signed the peace accord.
Would it be necessary to do similar things across the states?
I want to recommend that in all the states of the Federation, during this week, commissioners of police across the Federation should sign a peace accord between all the candidates who are contesting for governorship in all states of the Federation. But if it's not signed tomorrow, they should sign it on Thursday.
They've done that already. You mean they should renew it?
It has to be renewed.
The way we saw
to
the
refresh the minds of the people in all the states of the Federation. Media organizations will carry the report that whoever wins should accept that it is the will of God, and whoever loses or whoever wins again, because I don't see anybody losing. Whoever wins should be congratulated. Whoever contests with anybody should be commended.
Because I think we already have seen an example. I like the fact that you just reminded us that it was renewed just a few days to the election. We saw the president, and he's kept to his word. And how can that trickle down into states? You have advised that commissioners of police call most of these candidates to go back to the table and pledge for peace before the eyes of the world and the states. Is that enough?
Thank you, Suleiman. Millions of people are watching this program. And as I'm speaking now, a number of people will believe that what I've said is necessary. Security agencies are watching as well. The IG might probably be watching, and the commissioners of police across the Federation. There is need for renewal of that peace accord in all states of the Federation, even the FCTA Abuja.
We have two leaders, possibly, yes, two great leaders that we must look at their agenda as we move towards May 29, and that's President Jonathan. Before May 29, what could be those magical things you would love to see him do that will bring about, or rather consolidate, the peace we already have in the country, as well as even the president-elect?
Thank you very much, Suleiman. It's not only what President Goodluck Jonathan will do that is important. What the president-elect General Buhari will do is also important. I look forward to seeing President Goodluck Jonathan calling on all the gubernatorial candidates of the PDP and talking to them to take a cue from what he has done. That whoever wins should regard it as being the outcome of the elections. Whoever loses among you should not do anything that will instigate crisis in the country. Ditto for President-elect General Muhammad Buhari. You too should call out the gubernatorial candidates of the APC that in your state, if you win, we shall congratulate you. If you lose, go to the court and stop any crisis that will lead to breakdown of law and order. If a sitting governor wins, he should broadcast to the state and thank the people and call on the person that has contested with him to come and work along with him. If he loses, similar broadcast, the type of which the president made, should be expected from any of the governors, whether PDP or APC, so as to stabilize the nation, so as not to disrupt the peace that we have had in the last 2 weeks or so. Anything that is not in tune with what I have said would disrupt the program and would discredit the nation that has been well credited in the last 12 days for what has happened in this country.
Where do you see then the role of the courts? For instance, if a candidate believes that he or she did not lose fairly, how do you think then that they can say they're still going to congratulate the winner but go to court?
There's nothing wrong. When Fayemi lost in Ekiti, he congratulated the winner and he called on the people of Ekiti to work along with Governor Fayemi. Later he went to the court. So there's nothing stopping anybody from going to court after congratulating the winner. This is a way of stabilizing the polity.
But doesn't it, I mean, usually if you congratulate a winner, it means that you believe that the process was fair, was credible, and you accept the results of the process. That's what it means, that's what it implies.
Okay, not in all cases. Mr. President has congratulated General Buhari. Have not seen any serious move of going to the court by the PDP, considering the leaders of PDP now congratulating General Buhari. The wife of the president has congratulated the wife of the president-elect. She has also congratulated the president and the party. Now, winning an election is so important that if you want to stabilize the society, you ensure that you don't cause crisis, because when crisis sets in, your name will be mentioned.
You seem to have missed out on one thing. What about the electorate? Because it's a democracy.
Yes.
They are the people who matter. How about the way they conducted themselves in this last election? Because there were those who were there to form in trouble, but many others insisted that, no, we will be here to do what we have to do.
At this point, I must commend all Nigerians, especially the electorate. Everybody had his own political interest, but in spite of the new method of voting, the technology that has come into our voting system, I even had Nigeria being commended by US and other nations. In some of these places, they have not started using the card reader. They still use manual. That we have been able to be patient enough to maintain peace is highly commendable. So what I want to say about the electorate you are talking about is for all of us to continue to appeal to them to ensure that the type of coolness, calmness, law and order they maintain during the presidential and National Assembly election must also continue in this forthcoming election on Saturday.
Well, there's just the election waiting and to be concluded before May 29. Are you thinking of an agenda now that loads and loads of close watchers have been set an agenda for the president-elect?
Thank you very much. I'm thinking of a number of agenda, and the first one that comes to my mind is asset declaration. Mr. President should declare, the president-elect should declare his asset and ask all the governors of the federation, all the political office holders, from local government up to the federal level, that they should do same, because it's in line with the law. So if you do that, you have laid a very good example for those who are behind you to follow. That's my first agenda for the President-elect, General Buhari. The next agenda is the issue of fighting corruption. Let me tell you from onset, probably I've said it on this program 1 or 2 times, that I do not believe that a serving security man should head EFCC. Presently, a serving security man is heading EFCC. It's not supposed to be. If you know the setup in the security organizations, they always say yes to whatever the superior authority says. In the issue of EFCC, we need a retired, no-nonsense military, police, or other security agency official to head it. And if you say, if you want to know why fighting corruption in Nigeria has been failing, it is because we've been using serving police officers.
All right, Mr. Ibrahim Abdullahi is the Vice Chairman, Mediation and Conflict Resolution Committee, also a fellow, Chartered Institute of Personnel Management of Nigeria. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, in just a minute, we'll be back and wrap this up, so please join us again.